Hello, and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, about a month ago, I made a video on what I believe are the best 5 places to buy real estate in Portugal for the year 2025. In today's video, I want to give you my opinion on what I feel are the worst places to buy real estate in Portugal for the year 2025. But before I do so, could I please ask that if you enjoy my content to like and subscribe, as it does help push out this video to more viewers on YouTube. Now, all of these places are lovely places, all 5 wonderful places. I just feel, though, that in each of these places, property is just far too expensive for what it offers. Anyway, here are the bottom 5 places to buy real estate in Portugal. And please let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. So, coming in at number 5 is Madeira. Now, it would have been unthinkable 2 or 3 years ago to put Madeira in the bottom 5 places to buy real estate in Portugal. But prices have skyrocketed, and it's no longer a place where real estate is good value for money. Just think, a few years ago, average property prices on this lovely island were less than 2,000 euros per square meter on average. However, you are now looking at real estate prices of around 3,700 euros per square meter on average. In the capital Funchal, prices have surpassed 4,000 euros per square meter on average. So one could argue that the Algarve, as expensive as it is, could be a better bet than Madeira. However, I don't want to be too harsh on Madeira. It has a wonderful climate, beautiful landscapes, good food and wine. There are also lots of activities like hiking, diving, and fishing. Furthermore, the crime rate on the island is very low, and Madeira has an excellent healthcare system and some excellent schools. Further advantages are that the island has good infrastructure with excellent modern road networks, good internet speed, and a highly skilled population, many of whom speak several languages. And from Funchal Airport, you can fly to a number of European destinations, and you can fly to New York as well. However, the thing is, we have to highlight the prices are very high. And also, the beaches actually in Madeira are not quite as good as the Algarve. Actually, they're a lot more pebbly rather than sandy beaches on the Algarve. So that's why Madeira comes in at the 5th worst place to buy real estate in Portugal for the year 2025. So coming in at number 4 is Sintra. Now, with a population of around 385,000 and located on the Portuguese Riviera, Sintra is actually a wonderful town with numerous lovely villas, historical estates, royal palaces, and castles. And Sintra is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Unsurprisingly, Sintra is home to one of the largest expat communities along the Portuguese Riviera. Many people in Portugal consider Sintra as one of the best places to live in Portugal, and no doubt it is a rich municipality, one of the richest in Portugal. Other advantages of Sintra are that crime rates are low, it's a very walkable town, has good healthcare facilities, beaches are not too far away, and the area around Sintra has some of the most spectacular scenery in Portugal. It's a great place to hike and a great place to walk. However, real estate prices here are not cheap. So we are talking over 4,000 euros per square meter on average. Now, many will say that these prices are not too bad considering Lisbon is just over 30 kilometers away, so quite near. However, what I would also say is that away from the center of Sintra, there is, to put it politely, not too much charm. Other cons are that it can weather-wise here sometimes be a bit misty. And if you want to live here, it can be quite expensive due to obviously it being a tourist destination. So if you want to eat out, have a good nightlife, you're going to have to pay here. So it's, I think, not such a great place to buy a property either as an investment or a place to potentially live as well. Now, coming in at number three is Lisbon. Now, Lisbon is one of my favorite cities in Europe. It really is a wonderful place in which to live. Now, for a capital city as well, the crime rate's quite low. But not only that, the weather here is very good. The nightlife is amazing as well. I would say the best in Portugal and one of the best in Europe as well. The buildings in Lisbon are nice and colourful. And also, I love Lisbon because it's a city really rich in history with numerous tourist attractions. I also have to say, for a capital city in a Western European country, the locals are very friendly. Now, contrast this to people on the London Underground who really do look miserable. And in a lot of Western European capitals, this is also the case. You don't find so many friendly locals as you do in Lisbon. And it's no wonder that there's so many expats that have moved here. The beaches are also a short distance away. So, what is there not to love about Lisbon? Well, I'm afraid it's the real estate market. Property prices are very high in Lisbon. So, we are talking over 6,000 euros per square meter on average. Now, if you consider that salaries in Lisbon are on the low side, often a lot of people in Lisbon earn less than 1,200 euros a month. You can see why I think property prices are out of control. And just think as well, property prices in Lisbon are almost double of those in Rome. And that does tell you a lot about what's going on in this market. It really, really is very expensive to buy property in Lisbon. And I've got to be honest, I do expect that prices in the future will fall in this lovely city. It's just too expensive to buy property. Now, coming in at number two is Estoril. Now, located on the Portuguese Riviera, Estoril is well known as a tourist destination with luxury hotels and beaches. Estoril has one of the largest casinos in Europe, and it also hosts the most important tennis tournament in Portugal, namely, obviously, the Estoril Open. You also have here the annual Lisbon and Estoril Film Festival. And so internationally, Estoril is quite well known. And indeed, there is a significant expat community here as well. One advantage I will say as well of Estoril is that it's only about 25 kilometers from Lisbon, and indeed about a 30 to 40-minute train journey or so, I believe. So there is good access to an airport. Estoril is actually a small place with only about 26,000 inhabitants. If you like dining out and the cafe lifestyle, then Estoril can be a very nice place to live. While it is not significantly classed as a winter escape destination, the winters here are mild. And with all these advantages, why would you not buy here? Well, unfortunately, property prices are on the very expensive side. So we are talking on average over 7,000 euros per square meter, which I'm sure you will agree with me is very expensive. Now, in the neighborhood of Monte Estoril, they cost 8,500 euros per square meter on average. So very, very expensive. And the problem here as well is that if you decide to buy here and live here full time, it's a very expensive place in which to live and dine out because it's a tourist destination and the richer tourists come here. But it doesn't make number one position the worst place, as you can see, to buy property, I think, in Portugal is Cascais. Now, only a few kilometers from Estoril, Cascais, in my opinion, is the worst place to buy real estate in Portugal for the year 2025. Cascais, just like Estoril, is a wealthy place. It actually has a lovely old center. It has art galleries, museums, and a very nice walkable town. There are many nice restaurants, cafes, and little shops. Now, Cascais has some nice cobbled streets, and it has traditional. It has a lovely traditional feel to it. Of course, there are some nice beaches here. You will also find more historical sites than Estoril, and there are also grand mansions, nice parks to walk in, and Cascais has a lovely fishing harbour as well. Now, just like Estoril, the winters here are mild and the summers are not excessively hot. And of course, you have easy access to Lisbon as well. There is a significant expat community here, and most of the locals, just as in other major tourist places in Portugal, speak good English. Unfortunately, though, prices here are even more expensive than Estoril. On average, property prices are nearly 8,000 euros per square meter. And in the center, you are looking at over 10,000 euros per square meter on average. I'll repeat that. Property prices in the center of Cascais are over 10,000 euros per square meter on average. And as much as I like Cascais, these prices are nothing short of insane. And obviously, this is the main reason why I would recommend that you do not buy property here. It is insane. Now, please let me know your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree with me? I would love to hear your comments below because I'm sure there are people who've bought here that will disagree. Anyway, that's it for today. As ever, thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you soon on the next video.